What's up, y'all? Kofi Kingston here, and I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks, depending on what that drink is, preferably non-alcoholic, you know?
How's it going, Celtic Warrior Shane?
Soda.
I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Maple syrup.
Fella.
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Woo! Guys, tequila, lager, and chasers. That's right, it's TLC weekend, and it gave us plenty to drink about. We are Wrestling on the Rocks. I am at Ref Marsh. You can find us at WOTR The Show, and you can find Kevlar right there on his couch. Kev, tell the people who you are.
I'm Kevlar on the couch. I don't move much.
Woo!
You can find me on Twitter at Kevlar on the Rocks with an X.
With an X.
I probably won't respond.
No, not often. Not often at all, to be honest. Oh, Kev, how was your weekend? We had a big old SmackDown, we had a big old TLC, and then we had a big old Raw.
Yeah, it was entertaining.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff going on. I think what we're gonna do too is we're gonna talk about SmackDown, and we'll just talk about the things that didn't actually. What day is it?
Today? Tuesday?
Today's Tuesday? Yeah. People are watching a wrestling thing right now. I'm seeing live tweets about Bayley and Sasha in a ring. What is happening right now?
Let's see.
Oh, it's I saw this thing about it.
Let's see.
It's not from the troops, is it?
No. That happened last weekend, didn't it?
Yeah, it happened a while ago. People are in the Thunderdome. It's Sasha and Bayley are coming out right now. Sasha just walked out, and she picked up her title and it dropped, and then Bayley like pointed and laughed at her. But like this is happening right now. All right, well.
WWE. Well, it's a live event. That's what I was trying to spit out.
Is it?
No, I don't know.
I have no idea.
Weren't they doing like a holiday special?
I don't know about a holiday special. I know next Raw is going to be the Legend special. Are they doing a holiday thing? Well, I guess we won't know what happened there. But I think it's going to be like Tribute to the Troops, probably, where there's not a lot to have to happen. That's crazy. I didn't know, and I guess that kind of steamrolled the beginning of our show.
Is SmackDown on right now?
That's what I'm saying. Is it SmackDown? It's taping. What the fuck? Someone tell me that it's taping for the Christmas show right now. So does that mean that people are watching it in the Thunderdome? And then it'll air?
It says Mr. McMahon returns to SmackDown Live this Tuesday. What
really? Fucking Christ. I don't know what's going on anymore. This is making me awfully upset. I need a drink. Kev, what's in your glass?
I second that notion. Just simple Miller Lite. Smooth and refreshing Miller Lite.
Oop, that's the lager.
Crisp taste.
That's the lager we talked about. It's Pilsner?
A fine Pilsner.
That's a good point. It's Pilsner. Wow. Oh, right next to it.
It's the P in TLC.
Yes. Actually, that's
the
exactly what I was going to have, and it's not even over here, so I'll probably have to get that in just a minute. I was going to have the Terramana, the Rocks Tequila. I was going to have a little bit of that. All right, well, guys, this is a good thing it's only our first show, because that would have been a terrible way to start a show if we've been doing this for almost 2 years. God damn, dude. I don't know what's going on. So apparently there's a show going on right now. So there's that we'll have to catch up on later. I have no idea. So I guess people are in the Thunderdome watching the SmackDown Live tapings now, or is SmackDown Live just airing now? I just don't know.
They got to be filming it because they were talking about the Christmas show, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But it would be dumb to do that without with live Thunderdome audience. You think they would have taken like old Thunderdome?
Yeah, I would have thought
they
would just pre-taped
it. Ruin the show, but I don't know. It's above my pay grade.
And well, I mean, that's just it. There's a lot of the stuff they put in the Thunderdome's pre-taped anyways. They can do that. They can get away with it because at the end of the day, they can show whatever they want behind the people when you're in the Thunderdome for clips here and there. I think a lot of it's live. I think a lot of it's taped, to be completely honest. Either way, we're live now. We're going to find out what happens. So apparently a bunch of wrestling news is going to happen while we're live. And we're just going to have to deal with that, I guess. I don't get it. I don't know what's happening.
Tuesday show.
Yeah, I guess we'll bring it up on next Tuesday. So, Kev, a few things happened this weekend. Kevin Green passed away. Tears in our beers.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if, because you were obviously a much bigger sports fan in general. I don't know if you had much to say about him in terms of what he did in football first and all that.
I mean, he was, pretty good on the football field. He's a Hall of Famer. He's third in all-time sacks. He was a badass. He was kind of, small, so no one thought he would be anything, but he just had heart and determination, and he kicked ass on the football field. And then, obviously later went to WCW.
Yeah, I remember him in WCW. I remember thinking that of the football players who went there, he seemed to be the most, trying to be a wrestler. Because I got the impression that he loved it and wanted to be that,
Yeah, better than Goldberg.
Well, Goldberg was trying to be a presence. He didn't seem like he was trying to learn the craft the same way. Mongo, same. Didn't seem like he was trying to learn the craft the same way. Or maybe not dedicating himself the same way. I mean, there's all those funny tweets and Twitter accounts about him now. But I remember back at the time just seeing Kevin Green and thinking, here's a guy who's he wants to be like a wrestler, which is cool. Mm-hmm. I remember having a lot of respect for him then. So it was kind of sad. He was awfully young. He wasn't even 60. So, tears in our beers, and we'll see down the road, I guess.
Yes. Cheers.
Ooh, I am having the Terramana Tequila. Sponsored, not sponsored. Maybe we'll send a screenshot, see if they'll send us a couple bottles. I don't know. Probably not. Yes. No one else is sending us shit, so why would the Rockstar sending us stuff? Let's see. The other thing. Yeah. All right. Oh, yeah, you are right now. You flash the shirt, I'll flash the bottle. Come on. You got to give us something. They're not going to give a shit. So Jericho also, we'll just say it and move on. I think Jericho performed at another concert this weekend with another huge gathering, and people are losing their shit about it. And it's like, I don't know, do you expect different from him at this point? Because I don't expect anything different from him at this point.
It's the gift of COVID.
Yeah. He's loving it. Yeah, I don't know. Well, Kev.
Yeah.
I didn't have any other news. Apparently, there's a wrestling show happening right now. So now I got some FOMO. We got to get going. We got to get doing this. Oh, anybody who's listening to the intro, you'll notice we added a little addition. There's going to be a little addition on the outro as well. So be on the listen out for that, too. We're very excited about those additions. Kev, you want to just get into SmackDown? Just do this. Just drink about it.
Let's do it.
I'm so pissed there's a show happening right now, dude. I'm just so pissed right now.
We're stealing all our viewers.
Yeah, all of our viewers are there now. The turnout we would have had if WWE wasn't constantly trying to counter-program us.
It's ridiculous. They listen to us. They take our ideas and run with them.
That's true. I'm going to be honest with you. I've got very little reason to suspect Charlotte was even coming back until you brought it up. Kev, let's talk about some SmackDown stuff real quick, okay? Like I said, let's only go over the stuff that wasn't in TLC, because then what we'll do is we'll just hit TLC and talk about what happened before and after and during and all that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Sweet. So on SmackDown only stuff, Street Profits did win against Ziggler and Rude to retain their titles. It was a pretty decent match. I did like at the end Charles Robinson getting right in the face of Ziggler and Rude, who were yelling at Robinson. He turned it around. He started fucking yelling at him. I'm pointing. He was seconds away from a woo, dude. He was getting all Little Nate's Charles in charge again. Don't you? I'm doing my job. You listen to me. Woo! He was so close. So close. I love it, man. I love any time they use. Go ahead.
But I was hoping for that.
I know. I started getting all excited. I was like, oh, here we go. Here we go. He's going to do it. He's going to woo at him. But then he didn't woo. It was all right. I wasn't let down, but I was pretty excited. I still think about when they came out to do the live event and Charles Robinson was like sort of dancing with R-Truth a little bit because he's like, no, I don't do that. And he started like dancing. He's like, I don't do that. Nah, it's not me. And it's like he was doing it still. So funny. I think he's utilized great when he is. So anything you wanted to say about the match itself, Street Profits?
Not really.
Yeah, me neither, dude.
It
So
was
Riot
there,
Squad,
you know,
yeah, it
I
was
was just
what it
gonna
was.
say I was hoping for Rude and Dolph to win.
Me too. I don't know. I know some people were saying that Montez Ford is getting real serious, but I'm not seeing that. I'm still seeing the same Ford, and I know that Dawkins is getting booked like bigger and bigger of a beast. He's becoming this unstoppable dude who does the silliest, slowest moves. His spin into the corners, man, I'm not... every time he does that, I just laugh. It looks like you on the trampoline when you were 13. Look, I can spin.
That's hurtful.
What? You were a very athletic 13-year-old. Athletic for your size.
That sounds mean.
What? That's what they say about him all the time. He's very athletic for his size. And I go, oh, there's bigger guys that do more. Well, anyways, Riot Squad defeated Billie Kay and Tamina. Kev, are you liking this Billie Kay stuff where she's coming out with her resume and apparently courting a bunch of tag team partners?
No, it's just not doing it for me. It's like I don't know. It doesn't make sense. You split them up, and then you have them both trying to be tag teams separately.
Right? I'm wondering if this is a long-term play here. Do you think, and I'll credit TW Takes right now, TW Takes podcast, go ahead and check them out. They mentioned that they think this is leading towards the repairing of Billie Kay and Peyton Royce as the Iconics. That this is showing what they both have to offer outside of their tag team, only to reestablish them later. I don't know. I could see it, except for the fact that they truly are on separate brands. So you have to do one of their wonky WWE wild card trades, sort of invitational, and be like, oh, for just one night, we'll have the Iconics back. And then they're like, oh, how could we possibly split them back up and do a trade or some shit? Like, I just wonder if something goofy like that's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, I could see them doing something in the Royal Rumble.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're
Royal
both
Rumble
in the
could
ring
redo
at the
that.
same time, and oh my gosh, look at they're working so great together, and then they're split apart again.
I also, so part of me, I never found Iconics to be ultimately that enjoyable or funny to me anyways. So the idea of a long-term play out to where they get back together, I'm not excited by it. But I also understand that they got a ton of fans and people love them and they find them entertaining. Billie feels like an inside joke to me. She feels like the kind of thing that people who know. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, well, if you knew her, you'd find her funny, is the feeling I get. Mm-hmm. But I also feel like that there's a lot of people who don't know her that find her very funny. So I'm not saying that I'm speaking for the masses. I'm just saying that's how I feel when I watch it. I feel like I'm watching an inside joke. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm trying to think of the long-term thing, because what else are they doing here?
Yeah. What do they
Billie
do?
Find a partner and like, oh, this is better. She's better than Peyton.
Yeah, right. She finds one that they just like get gold. She's like, I should have done this all along.
Yeah.
The Riot Squad. What'd you think of that promo that Liv and Ruby cut before their match on that little film? They're the little, how they do the picture-in-picture thing?
Yeah. It was kind of weird because the video started playing before the audio, so it kind of didn't make sense at first. Because I watched it a second time, and then you could kind of understand where they were going with it. But I don't know. It was kind of weird.
It was
But I
weird,
think
right?
that might be, yeah. But I think that's what they're going for.
I know, but I don't think I felt really
They're
bummed
gonna
out by
be
this
the new
segment
B
overall.
team.
I'm just gonna tell you, it does feel a little B teamish. They didn't. I don't know, man. I feel like I was so hyped for the Riot Squad for so long and so behind them and all the things they said, and then they cut this promo and it just felt so lacking and weird and directionless that I was like, oh, is this? Are they just unsure again? Like, I don't know. I'm not invested in this promo. It actually made me less interested in this match going into it. And then afterwards, I'm less interested in what happens with the Riot Squad. And to be honest, I've been saying it for months. When's the Riot Squad getting their tag titles? After that promo, it killed a lot of their momentum for me. I felt like I don't care if they get the titles at this point. At this point, I'm rooting for, as Asuka says, the sexy muscle friends, for Dana and Mandy. I'd rather see them tag champions at this point than the Riot Squad. I feel like that the Riot Squad has gotten so messy in their presentation. I don't understand what I'm looking at or why anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind either team grabbing the belts sooner rather than later, but I don't like that sexy muscle friends or whatever the hell they call them.
That's not a
That
good
to me
name.
killed a lot of momentum.
Yeah. Let's see.
I just don't know why they don't go power and glory. Like, but we'll get there.
100%. 100%. I'm not saying that name is the name for me, but them as a team I think is fantastic.
Mm.
Yeah, I was really bummed out by this whole segment. I was really just kind of like, oh, God, I was so excited.
It definitely didn't kill it for me. I just if they consistently have promos like this, then yeah, it's dead. But I think, people have shitty promos from time to time. If they do a similar one next week, then I'll be like, all right, the Riot Squad freight train is slowing down.
Yeah, but that's just it. Is I feel that Ruby and Liv, they came off way different in this one. Their characters seemed so much more different, so vapid. All of a sudden, they seemed really dumbed down, and I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, yeah, like you said, maybe, but go ahead.
I was going to say, to me, it felt like Ruby was acting like a big sister in a, 50s sitcom.
Yeah.
Like Leave It to Beaver. Like, oh, silly Beaver.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah,
That's the problem. Awkward. Is that what we're going with? Is Liv just a dumb kid now, and Ruby's just the goofy older sibling? Like, oh, that's old Liv. I don't want that. I wanted a couple of ass kickers, a couple of riot starters, people who do beat their own drummers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It came off really weird, and it was deflating because I've been so excited every time I see the Riot Squad, and I'm like, here we go. Let's do this. And that was even a win for them, and I couldn't even be as excited about it as I would have been if I just didn't hear that promo at all. It was just really weird. Mm-hmm. It's not often I think that someone puts out a promo that actually will kill a match for me before it even happens. A lot of times I won't get more excited, but this one felt like it deflated it for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To me, a bad promo just doesn't make me more excited. I didn't realize that a promo could actually make me not care anymore.
Uninterested?
Yeah, uninterested. It went from me being like, well, at least it's them, to hearing that and being like, well, whatever then.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Street Profits have done that for me. But let's see. So just 3 more little segments we'll talk about for SmackDown and then get to TLC. Otis defeated Shinsuke. A lot of people were really pissed off about this. Kev, what did you think about Otis getting the win over Shinsuke via pinfall with Shorty Gable, Chatty Gable in his corner?
I want Gable to bring out the Jimmy Hart megaphone, excuse me.
Oh, that'd be good.
And him just yelling across the ring to Otis. But I was a little disappointed. I like Shinsuke a lot. He needed the win, I think. Because if he kept losing, and you have Gable as your manager, is this going to just lead to Gable versus Otis? Who cares about that?
I hear you. I did not. I don't think Shinsuke had to have the win here. I think Otis definitely needed a win to start moving that story along. I think everyone's expecting Shinsuke to lose 15 years and suddenly be the youngest ever NJPW champion again. I'm not saying he's in the twilight of his career, because he's not. But I also don't know that we have a Shinsuke right now that is just on the trajectory for the world title. I mean, even if he was, where does that put him? Against Roman? Shinsuke helping build a star like Otis right now, to me, doesn't piss me off. I get it for Shinsuke fans. But at the same time, it's like, well, Otis needs wins. He got to win over somebody who has, at this point, is an established tag team star. So, it's not bad for Otis. I'm going to jump in real quick into the chat just because I realize I don't have it. So, we're going to catch up real quick. We got Sierra Alligator in the chat. Cheers.
And Lunar said salutations and Merry Christmas.
GR Lunar coming in with the Keith Lee salutations. Appreciate that. Cheers to GR Lunar.
That's kind of it. And then
Cheers.
And Fabtina's just saying some stuff about people being good and stuff.
yeah, screen.
Dope, Fabtina. Always agreeing. Very agreeable, Fabtina. Thank you so much for Sierra and GR Lunar coming through the chat.
And not watching SmackDown.
And not watching whatever this fucking Christmas SmackDown thing is.
Don't tell them.
Yeah, you just see like in there switching.
Viewers drop.
Yeah. Boop, 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 boop. I do like this Chatty Gable and Otis stuff. I'm digging it. I don't know exactly where we're going with it. I don't know if Chad Gable's... I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about Chad Gable right now, because he's coming off so likable. Otis is so confused by him. You know what I mean? But Chad Gable's also coming off a little bit patronizing. So you're like, is he being a dick or is he being a coach?
He's being a dick.
Yeah, but is he? Because coaches can be dicks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they can be really good people who care about you. But then when it's game time, they're yelling at you because fuck you, dude, you're fucking up. You know what I mean? And then the way he's like smiling, patting him on the back, he's like, "That's just I showed you what to do by doing what not to do," and smiling. And you're like, "Are you talking yourself out of your own fuck up?"
He's never gonna be wrong.
Yeah, exactly. He's never wrong. I don't know. I'm really digging Chatty Gable right now.
You know, it'd be great with Chatty Gable.
Hmm.
You know, I mentioned the Jimmy Hart megaphone.
Yeah.
I think he should just start like dressing and looking the part of like all the classic managers. Like first you should have like a Bobby Heenan jacket, and then go out there with a old cell phone like Paul and tennis rackets, and
just actually go through them all. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
That'd be funny. At first I thought you were talking about like how Peter Rosenberg wears the Bobby Heenan style jacket because he's a fucking mark. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't think Peter Rosenberg watches this show, but I'm telling you right now, every time I see him in that jacket, I'm like, come on, man. At least Sam Roberts shows up in a suit and tie looking like the last professional broadcaster. Peter Rosenberg shows up. Peter Rosenberg looks like I showed up with my Wrestling on the Rocks title around my waist and be like, I'm here to do the kickoff. Okay. All right, my bad. I apologize. I need more drink.
Hey, you might have a shot at making TV time on AEW. Just show up with your title, knock on the door. I'm here.
Yeah, I'm a champion. Worked for Thunder Rosa, right? Hey, look, I'm a champion. I can be here.
Can I see your credentials? You just hold up the belt.
Yeah, what do you mean my credentials? I'm a champion. Problem is, I'm going to have to lose this title to, like, one of the Dark Order or something. Just to keep me on
Adam
their YouTube
Page.
show.
Who else? Adam Page needs the Wrestling on the Rocks belt.
That's true. Adam Page will take the wrestling on. You know what it'll be? It'll be Taz's kid in his first ever match. And then just buys me more time on their YouTube show, and he's walking around with my title. I'm like, fuck!
God damn it.
You think Thunder Rosa tunes in on Dynamite sometimes, sees her in deep, and just goes, this is kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's funny. We're just goofing off.
Just having fun over here, guys.
Yeah, relax. Everybody calm down. I hope the internet blows up about that. That'd be so good. 2 more segments. But I'm happy about that stuff. Yeah, this week on Dynamite.
Yeah.
Tony Khan's going to give me a call personally to be on my podcast because that's how he seems to go. I talked about action figures with Zack Ryder. I thought I could talk to you about booze. Okay. Sami Zayn hosted the first ever Sammy Awards. Dude, I fucking loved this segment. But you already knew I did when you watched it. What did you think of it?
I skipped it because I knew you were going to enjoy it too much.
Yeah, you're just like, I can't do this.
Okay. No, it was no, it was great. I love the spray painted tin cans and the spray painted Sammy figure.
Yes.
I'm surprised you haven't made one yet.
I gave my last one to that kid. That little dude who we gave all the stuff to. I threw my last Sami Zayn figure in there, so I can't make one now. But I've thought about it. I'm all like, well, I've got 2 in the boxes. I could always rip them out.
You guys, but now I got a Sammy.
Yeah, actually, fuck, it might be worth it on that one Elite that I have. I don't know. Let's back on track. But now I'm all like, okay, now I got to make some Sammys. So anyone looking for a Christmas gift for me, get me some Sami Zayn figures. The more Sammys, the better. Some tin cans will help. Is there anything in tin cans that are compostable we can use that I don't have to eat? Never mind. I got in trouble for that, guys. I got shot a look. Forget it.
Uh-oh.
Dude, okay, so here's the thing. I thought Big E in the segment was fantastic. I loved the way he was pushing Sammy away and stuff and like not even looking at him. But the Big E laughing before the segment when he was like fucking around with the cards, that weird laugh thing, I was not feeling that.
Yeah.
I
think it would have been better if it was just Big E like kind of looking around and had a smirk.
Yeah.
Not the weird trying to be a Joker laugh.
100%. If that was a little bit more subtle, even if he was kind of giggling to himself, but not much, like, yeah, 100% that would have been better. But that maniacal laugh, I was like, this is weird. But the segment went out amazing. I loved Sami Zayn's whole thing about it. I mean, history was made. First ever 2-time Sammy Award winner, Sami Zayn. Congratulations to you, man. Well deserved. Well earned. Cheers.
Cheers. Wait, I thought that's what it was tonight. It was the Slammies.
I thought that was Wednesday. We'll find out. We'll find out if we fucked up, dude. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I thought the segment was awesome. I thought they both did a really good job. I mean, I don't know what to say about it other than if you didn't see it, you got to see it. It's just fantastic TV. You can't give that guy enough mic time, I don't think.
No.
Yeah. Very Kaufman-esque to me. And then the only other thing before we get into TLC was Bayley defeated Bianca Belair via pinfall. I thought this whole match was so good. And I know that a lot of people throw around, especially online, because everyone wants to be the smartest and they all think they're insiders. And that's our whole thing, is that we've never claimed to be that. A lot of people say every match that they like to go, what great storytelling. They don't know what that means, though. A lot of times, just especially some matches I see that are just actually really bad storytelling with a lot of good moves, they'll be like, oh, tremendous storytelling. Just so the psychology in this match was supreme. Can you break it down for me? Can you go ahead and break it down for me then? Let's break it down. Because when I watched AJ versus John Cena with the producer for the Royal Rumble, when I was like, you got to see something, one of the best matches of that year. As we watched it, I was breaking down the match. Notice this. Look how he does this. Look how he's reacting this way. And we were able to break down that story as we watched. And that was one of those big matches that got her to really start clicking about what wrestling is and could be. People say that about a lot of matches, and it's just the fucking just not true. And a lot of times it's a real simple story, and sometimes that's great too. Just tell a real simple story that this guy's stronger than the other guy. I mean, half the time that's Roman stuff. Roman stories are usually pretty cut and dry and pretty simple, but that doesn't make them bad matches. I will say that the Bianca and Bayley match was a smart match with psychology and good storytelling. Here was the story of Bianca Belair, a young, superb athlete, flashy and excited and cocky and arrogant, but also real good guy, like not in this evil I'm better than you and you know it kind of attitude. This isn't the MJF type thing. This is just that I'm a supreme athlete. I've never lost a thing. I'm always better than everyone else. Why would I not assume I'm better at this too, right? But then you had the veteran Bayley, the conniving Bayley, taunting her. You had her reversing and getting out of stuff during flashy moments of Bianca's moves, because Bianca's like, oh, I can add a little bit of flair to this move because I am so good. I could do that. And maybe it'll make it hurt a little bit more. Maybe it won't. But there was a cockiness behind all the little things that Bianca was doing that Bayley was taking advantage of. Go ahead and do that. And then when Bayley was dumb enough to get cocky with Bianca, Bianca was able to get one over on Bayley every time too, because it was all like, just because you can reverse my shit doesn't mean I'm not better than you still. And so anytime Bayley showed that kind of cockiness, she got what was coming to her because Bianca is that good. You know what I mean?
Yes, 100%.
Oh my God, dude. I hate you. I think this was a Go ahead.
I wasn't ready. But
Mm-hmm.
no, it was. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Like when the teacher calls on you and you didn't do your homework.
Yeah. Or you're drawing something. I was drawing a caterpillar. I'm sorry. What happened?
Yeah. But no, yeah, I thought it was, exactly what you said. It was a great match. There was, like it did feel like the young gun thinking, hey, I'm great. I'm good. Like you said, I'm going to be flashy at times. And the veteran's like, no, I've seen this before,
Yeah.
and would like shut her down.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was great. It's, I think this match definitely like elevated Bianca. Like Bianca's is good, but it brought her up, maybe not to Bayley's level, but it's like, hey, she's on the cusp.
Yeah. 100%. It's, hey, with some refining, it's not going to take you long to get that far. You know what I mean? It really was kind of a battle between two types of cocky. You know what I mean?
It's a cockfight.
Cockfight. But it was that whole young gun that oh, I've seen this before. It's like and it was that almost that attitude of Bayley being like, you think you're the first better athlete in the ring with me? No. I win against better athletes all the time. You know what I mean? So I just think I thought it was so well done, and people were not giving it the credit it deserves, just because I think this one told a story we don't usually see, and they told it exceptionally well.
Yes. It was like a, how many times have we seen Natty like have this type of match?
Yes.
So to actually see Bayley do it, and especially, just off the run that Bayley just had.
Yes.
And, like I said, that's what brings up Bianca a lot higher, is that, Bayley just had this amazing run as the SmackDown Women's Champion. And now, Bianca, like I said, it just elevated her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I said,
absolutely.
not so much as an equal, but hey, I'm getting there.
Yeah, you're right there. Right there. So, just absolutely phenomenal. So good. Well, Kev, I'm ready to get into TLC if you are.
Yeah, let's do it. Tables, ladders, and churros.
Tequila, lager, and chasers. Let's do it. Guys, during this one, I will admit I went to a Twitch watch-along, had myself a little bit of a drink along with the TW Takes podcast Twitch, and it was a good time. It was a good time. Just wanted to shout them out for
I must have missed
hosting
my
a good time.
invite.
Yeah, of course you did. Did you even watch it live?
Yeah, most
Really?
of it.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I thought there was no way that was going to happen.
Actually, no, that's a lie. I watched it after the Cardinals game.
Oh.
So I was a little bit behind.
That's funny. Well, did you see the kickoff show?
No, I did not see that.
I just want to throw this out there.
Saving
There was a
time.
match in there that was 8-man tag match. It had Big E, Otis, Chad Gable, Daniel Bryan versus Corbin, Cesaro, Shinsuke, and Sami Zayn. There was a lot of people, and as much as we shouted out TW Takes, it's short for Terrible Wrestling Takes. I actually had to tweet him direct and said, I thought you were the king of awful wrestling takes. Are you seeing Twitter right now? A bunch of people were shitting all over the idea that these guys were on a kickoff. They had an 8-man tag match with 8 of the best stars they have. And it was a fantastic match and incredibly entertaining. And everyone got a chance to show in a way that wasn't sloppy. This was the least sloppy 8-man tag I've ever seen. You put in 8 of the best and they put on a great 8-man tag match. And I was excited for TLC because I also thought this was on their kickoff. Let's fucking go. They got more than this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who watches a match and say, I wish this was worse? That's what that attitude is.
Hey, it's the wrestling community. It's what they do.
I know, dude. The internet wrestling community is so... Oh, I mean, this is really good, but it should be shitty. What? They should only put shitty garbage stuff I don't want to watch on the early parts. What? No, they should... No, it should all be good all the time. All of it good. No.
Yeah, well, yeah. Maybe it's the way they worded it. Maybe they should have been like, hey, this great match should have been on the actual pay-per-view.
No, they were shitting on it before the match even started. It was things like, imagine putting Daniel Bryan on a kickoff show. Imagine you put... I mean, they tried to say like 6 or 7. They were trying to shit on people secretly too. They're like 7 of the best. And you're like, shut the fuck up, dude. Corbin is good. So they're trying to like be smart ass. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say poor Shorty.
Oh, yeah?
Chatty.
Yeah, poor Shorty.
Chatty Gable.
Poor Shaddy the Gable. They were doing shit like that too. And it was before he even goes, oh, imagine you'd put this on a kickoff. Yeah, imagine that they think that they've got better than this. And imagine telling these 8 guys, hey, you got to go on and start the whole show. Yeah, these 8 guys are going to show up because they're going to be like, we want you to follow us. You know what I mean? They set a bar. A lot of people talk about the first match of the night will set the bar for the night. There's a lot of truth in that.
This is it. Yeah.
And this is it. And when we don't get that, when you get a low bar on a kickoff show, that shouldn't be a point of like celebration. You shouldn't be like, oh, thank God this was on a kickoff. This is exactly where that garbage belongs. What? No. Want better things. Like, it's so weird. So weird. I just wanted to shit on the internet wrestling community there because we're part of it now. So, you know what they say about shitting where you sleep? What's up?
You wake up with a stinky finger.
Go ahead.
I don't know, when we were talking about Gable and stuff like that, and I don't know, it made me think of him being a manager again. Like, how great would it be if you got like 2 or 3 more guys under his umbrella, and they called him the Gable Stable?
Oh, gross, dude. I'm into it. So into it. That's disgusting. Now, I will say on the kickoff, Big E did get the pin over Sami Zayn, and that is why on this SmackDown on Friday, they are going to have an Intercontinental Title Championship match, Sami Zayn versus Big E. It is going to be a lumberjack match. What do you think about that?
I don't know. It's happening right now.
It's probably happening right now. I'm so pissed.
And then I'll tell you what happened.
Yeah,
or how I
I'm
feel
so
about it.
fucking pissed. But they do have
go
ahead.
I was gonna say, I think it's gonna be a good match. The only thing is, I think they could have built this up a little more. I think Sammy getting all the countouts, I think he should have gotten 1 or 2 over on Big E before saying, "Hey, we're having a lumberjack match."
He did get one over Big E. He got Big E to chase him underneath the ring.
That's right. Yeah, I think
I was hoping
time before the lumberjack.
Yeah, I wanted Sami Zayn to pit Big E against someone, being like, no, you can't just have another match with me. You have to beat somebody like I don't know and just say somebody, and have Big E get a 5 count win over them and get ourselves to a 5-10 count match.
Yeah.
You can only win by 5 count or by
Well-
10 count. Especially if Sami Zayn's whole thing is that he's smarter and it's harder to get a 10 count. Like, I would love it if Sami Zayn's thing is... I thought Sami doing all the 10 counts was going to lead into Big E being able to say, you can get a 10 count, but can you get a 5 count like I can type of a deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Has there ever been a count out in a lumberjack match?
I don't think so.
Like, how great would it be if, you know...
If you figured out a way to do it,
Yeah.
it'd be amazing.
Like,
It'd be
Sammy
absolutely
runs
amazing.
off, you just, like, straight down the entrance and, you know, I don't know. Then it might turn into, like, a 24/7 skit, but...
But
you
he
know,
did that
Big
with
E
Daniel
chases him
Bryan,
or something
remember?
like that.
He remember he got Daniel Bryan to chase him down the ramp. Then he comes running back. I think it was the first 10 count win that he got. It was so good. God, I love it. Sammy's so good. Fabcina brings up a good point. Sami Zayn also has a lumberjack look, which means he might just blend in on the outside. Either way, I'm happy with that. Kev, so you got to see the opening match, then Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles in a TLC WWE Championship match. Obviously it was good athleticism from everyone involved. Personally, I did not like the introduction into Money in the Bank at all. I think that Miz losing the Money in the Bank contract the way that he did, for me, it made me more frustrated at for Otis than anything. So let me say this, and then I want to get your take on this whole thing, and you can even talk about what happened on Monday because they talked about that loophole thing. But for me, in the moment, when I see Miz cash in unsuccessfully, all I can think is if he wasn't going to get the title, then why couldn't it have been Otis who didn't get the title? If you're going to have a failed cash in, shouldn't you get the most bang for your buck? And Drew winning in a ladder match that happens to have Miz in the middle of it means fuck all to Drew. Drew doesn't look bigger, badder, tougher, better than anything he did before by winning a ladder match with or without the Miz in it. There's no extra heat on anybody. But if Otis had the briefcase because he's so beloved, and he did get challenged, he did challenge Roman, or Roman talked him into being honorable and cashing it in face to face like some other people have done it before and not doing a surprise attack, and then Roman just demolishes Otis and he gets no offense in at all, the beloved nature of Otis goes through the roof. People feel as sympathetic as anyone ever could, and the true hatred and anger towards Roman starts to build again. And you get really good Roman heel heat and really good babyface Otis heat. I think that would have been incredible if you're gonna have a failed cash in. That's where all your heat is. Kev, tell me what you think of this match, the fallout, and you can even talk about what happened on Monday with the loophole.
Just watching the match with Drew and AJ, you know, like you said, it was good. Good back and forth. With Miz trying to cash in the Money in the Bank, I immediately knew that, or I didn't know. I don't know shit.
That's true. I've always said that.
I thought that he wasn't going to successfully do it, especially when Morrison hands it and he's just standing there smiling on the ladder. Like, get your ass out there and grab it. It's over.
Yeah.
You know? And, like, when I saw Morrison hand the briefcase, I was like, wait, Miz isn't cashing it in. And I thought that immediately. And I should have texted you guys because now I sound like a normal wrestling journalist that after the fact, you're like, whoa, this and this.
Oh, they changed plans.
Yeah, obviously, the last minute change by Vince in the bag.
Yeah, if it wasn't Charlotte, you could have just said it was a last minute change.
Yeah, exactly.
They changed their mind.
But you know, I noticed. I thought it was weird that Morrison was the one to him. So I think you know, going forward a bit, if Miz gets the briefcase back because hey, I didn't cash in, I never said it. You know, that's a weasel heel thing to do, and you know, it'd be great. You know, I'm okay with it. because like you said, like with the failed attempt, like okay, well, Buddhist gets it taken away and messes it up. Like this is stupid.
Yeah, it's waste.
I think it'd been great, even like when you were talking about Otis trying to cash it in. If he cashed it in this match, and once again he couldn't get up the ladder, I was like,
That'd
dude,
be
what are you
hysterical.
thinking?
Yeah, what was I thinking?
Then the title falls. He's about to catch it, and then Drew jumps over him and grabs it. Like,
Yeah,
that's
just
what it
claymores
was.
him. If they could time it right, where
Oh.
Drew claymores Otis and the belt falls onto Drew and he catches it like a fucking sliding. You know what I mean? That'd have been great.
Fighting, yeah, like an NFL catch. Like
Yeah, exactly.
just cradles it, slides and cradles it. Like that would have been great.
I love that you're like, what was I thinking? Like,
Yeah.
like I mean, do the whole thing. Have him turn around, run over to the ladder. He steps on the bottom rung. He just snaps out, and you just see him go like, oh fuck. And he's like, no. He goes up on one more, does it
Yeah.
again. He's just all like, God.
Immediately turns around. I changed my mind.
Yeah,
No,
what-
no, you already cashed it.
Yeah, you can't. That'd have been amazing.
But yeah, I mean, after Miz got in the match and didn't immediately, run up and grab the title, I was like, great, Drew's gonna get it.
Yeah.
I can care less about it, and it just doesn't lead to anything besides now Miz crying, saying he didn't cash it in himself.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. When I saw that, there was some people lighting up in one of my chats saying, he didn't cash it in. He's not the one. There's a loophole. Watch, they're going to give it back to him. And I was all like, you guys have got to be out of your mind if you think that's an actual loophole. And then on Monday when I saw it, I was like, fuck, I got worked.
Yeah, damn it.
I got worked again. God damn it. You keep getting me.
Yeah, every time.
Yeah,
I
you know. Yeah, every time I'm smarter than everyone is when I get got.
Yeah.
Every time I'm like,
I
mark
know
my
how
words. I'm like, I hope to God no one marked those words because those were wrong words. Every time. Every time.
I never said mark my word. I said marsh my words.
Yes.
You didn't hear me correctly.
Yeah, it was marking in red ink is what I meant, to be redacted later. What do you mean? That's what I meant. Not a highlight.
in pencil, so you can erase it.
Yeah. A red line through it. That's what I meant. Apart from that, I mean, like I said, everyone did a great job athleticism-wise and everything. I really like Osmos. God, I messed up his name and I feel so bad. Omos.
Osmo.
Omos.
Almost.
Omos.
Got his name right.
And here's the thing, is we're fucking up his name now. I swear to God, this guy's so good. In 2-3 years' time, everyone's going to know his name and no one's going to mispronounce it anymore. But right now, I feel like an absolute idiot every time I mess it up. And I mean no disrespect at all. I'm trying so hard. I have it written down in front of me so I wouldn't, and I still did. Almost. All of his interactions in here I thought was fantastic. I thought all of his interactions on Monday were fantastic. The guy's like, he's going to be good, man. I love that they got him paired up with AJ the way he does. Although he is a bit delicate. The way he lightly placed Miz through the table seemed a little, you know what I mean? He just cradles everyone. So funny. Morrison on Monday, but he did Miz on Sunday.
Yeah.
Because remember, he's the one who pulled Miz off the ladder. Which also bothered me too. I'm like, with Omos, I'm like, what the fuck do you care if Miz gets it? Do you honestly think AJ's got a better shot against Drew than Miz?
Yeah,
Let him have it.
That kind of got grinded my gears a bit as well.
Yeah. So, a little
But
weird.
that was another thing, speaking of which, I don't know if McIntyre knows how to put somebody through a table. Because, I
Yeah, I don't
mean,
know.
he overshot AJ a couple times, even on Monday.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
just center.
As center as it gets. Come on. Yeah.
He, on Monday, he almost threw him over the table. I was like, oh, shit.
I wonder if he just thinks that everyone's just going to get there. I mean, I'll throw him and it's just going to be right.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but
He didn't adjust right in the air. It didn't land.
yeah.
It's his fault.
Well, I mean, that's all I really had to say about that match other than it was good. I didn't like that fallout. And so I guess now we're invested in seeing how it plays out. The way that they're really going hard with this loophole thing makes me think that Miz will get the briefcase back. And if he does, he has to win the title. The last time we had a successful cash-in was Dean Ambrose in 2016. Apart from that, you have Brock Lesnar, but it's fucking Brock Lesnar. Does that really count as a surprise cash-in? You know what I mean?
Yes.
No one besides that between 2016 and now has had a successful cash-in. Otis didn't even really win the match when he got the briefcase to begin with, and then he loses it. Like, you got to make that briefcase look like something. Otherwise, it's going to just, like, what the fuck? It's going to have no point.
Do you think they're going to have another courtroom scene, whatever, Law and Otis?
God damn it.
Or call it something else?
No way. They can't do it unless it's on the Legends episode. After that match, we had Sasha Banks versus Carmella, dude. Let's talk real quick. The night before, or not the night before, but SmackDown right before it, they had the champagne thing. What do they call it? I just had it up. I'll find it right now.
The toast. Champagne toast.
It was the champagne tasting with her sommelier. Someone likes that word, and it's never been used right. Sommelier is a wine expert, and they've never used wine in context of a sommelier. Either way, let's see. They pick up the champagne. They do the thing. Oh, and Banks attacks Carmella, then beats the shit out of her sommelier. I liked all that stuff. I really liked the promo. Carmella was doing the promo, and she looks right in the dead of the camera and says to Sasha, she goes, "I'm better than you," and then paused, and we're all like, "Oh my God, she's gonna do it. She's gonna say, and you know it. Oh shit." And then she didn't do it, and I was like, she paused, though. She thought about it. She had to. I love the two of these women on the mic, back and forth. I think they spit fire at each other. It is so good. And this match, I thought, was the same. More great stuff. I did think it was really fucking weird to me that the sommelier dragged Carmella out of the ring during a pin, and the ref didn't call shit. And when I said something about it, someone else was like, well, he didn't touch Sasha. It was still a pin. He broke up a pinfall.
Yeah, he still interfered.
That's a literal interference. It was, I can't wrap my head around it, the reason behind it. Because to be quite honest, in tag team wrestling, you only can save your tag team from a pinfall twice. Outside of that, you get disqualified. That's literal grounds for disqualification if you're in the match.
Allegedly.
Yeah, well, it's a good point. But he literally stopped a pinfall, pulled her out, interfered in the match, and the ref's all like, yep, I'll allow it. But it's that same ref who fucks up all the other calls, so I don't know what to think about it. When the match started, producer looked at me and said, isn't that the ref that you always say messes up? And I was like, fuck, it's Spider! That's what they call him. I don't know why, but I've heard it a bunch. And he messes up so much of the stuff. He's the one who messed up the Becky finish in Mania. I don't know. Every time I see him, I'm like, there's gonna be some stupid ref shit in this one, and there was.
Well, I feel the same way when I watch like a game.
Yeah.
Like in the NFL, especially, there's this one ref. I'm not gonna say his name, but every time I see him reffing the game I'm watching, I'm like, fuck, god damn it, it's him.
Yo, so what did you think of this match? I thought apart from that little spot, I thought this match was tremendous. It was yet again, and I've said it the last several times we've seen her, Carmella's best match to date. She's getting better and better, and she wasn't bad to start with. This was fantastic.
Yeah. I love the match. It was great. I found myself not exactly knowing who to root for in it, which is okay. It doesn't have to be, so apparent or, but, it was a good match, and there's times I was rooting for Carmella, there's times I was rooting for Sasha. They, had a great back and forth. I thought the same thing with the sommelier. Like, why is he in there?
Yeah.
Why didn't he get kicked out? Why didn't the ref throw him in the back?
At the very least, right? If you're not going to call the match there, you throw him out. One or the other.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, I like it. I really have no complaints. It was good. The only thing I didn't like, and it's whatever. Maybe they didn't test it out, but I didn't like how much Carmella was messing with her gear. Like the way that they had her tights come up, they were constantly going down her leg, and it was
Yeah.
like every like pause, she's pulling them back up, and you know, if that's my only complaint in a match, then it's a pretty good match in my eyes.
Yeah, I will say that in terms of the gear, I thought that this is the right look for Carmella. Like, I really liked this kind of dark leopard print kind of look, dark cheetah print sort of thing.
Well, and it
100%.
was almost a callback to Fabulous Carmella, and I liked it too. I had no complaints with it, outside of, just putting a couple garter belts or whatever
Or pins or something, yeah.
on there to, yeah. But
Yeah.
I definitely like this better than her red Fifth Element look.
Yeah, and I remember we even mentioned it briefly where I was like, hey, it's not a bad look, but it was like when she came out with all the red, it was kind of like, okay, she's got a new look, but something about it seemed a little bit off or something, because, I mean, even a lot of people were like, what's this? It feels a little S&M. You said it felt a little, what was the Fifth Element? I mean, I saw it and thought, well, she looks good, I guess, and, I mean, leather's kind of badass, I suppose, but I didn't think much of it. When I saw her come out in this, I went, that's the look. That's awesome. She looks like a champion. She looks like Carmella, but she also looks evil, and she looks new. That is a new look with enough of a callback to the old look where that is it. Like, I was sold immediately.
Yes.
But whatever. Awesome match, though.
Yes.
We're obviously getting another match, right?
Oh, yeah. This wasn't the end of the line.
Yeah.
They left a lot, to be asking for and wanting more even. But I was going to say, I was thinking about it right before we came on, and this will go with, because I know Carmella has her own vineyard or wine company.
She does, Capocagna.
And, yeah. How great would it be? And it'd even be a little dig, because it's kind of annoying me that Carmella and Chris Jericho, bubbly.
Yeah.
I think they need to WWE needs to come out with it and make a champagne chilling bucket that says Carmella on the side of it.
Oh, that would be nice. This is it right here.
You know what I mean?
Capocagna.
And
I'm holding it up right now. Sponsored, not sponsored.
Nice.
Capocagna.
Definitely not sponsored.
Definitely not sponsored.
But yeah. But how great would that be?
Yeah.
That'd
be
it
fantastic.
Would be like a short little dig at AEW and Jericho, and it's like, yeah, you guys did the champagne thing, and we even joked around with a mimosa match and stuff like that with WWE and her. But if they have her own chilling bucket, or I don't know what they call it.
Yeah. I forget what they're called too, but there's really good ones you can get. They could put like her logo with the C with the diamond in it and have it say Champ Ain, Champagne.
Only if she wins it, or when she wins it.
That's a good point. This is for the celebration. Yeah, 100%. I'm behind all that. I love it. I thought it was fantastic. Anything that we're missing on that one?
If I see one come up in the next few months, I'm suing for royalties.
Yeah, you just got to get your name. Yeah, you'll tweet them, and then you'll get everything you want.
Yeah.
That's how the internet works. Let's see. New Day versus Hurt Business for the Raw Tag Team Championships. This was fantastic and brutal and awesome, and Kofi lost a couple of parts of his teeth. It was just a great match, and Hurt Business walked away with it. Cedric Alexander tagged himself in but got the win, and there's something going on with Cedric Alexander's ego. It's been real slow progression, but I think it's definitely going somewhere, and I'm really interested to see where that does turn up. But right now, Raw Men's Tag Champs happen to be the Hurt Business, so you got a lot of gold in the Hurt Business now. What'd you think of this?
I liked it. I liked the outcome. The match was great. I've always been a fan of well, three of the guys. Cedric's been growing on me. You know, I see his athleticism and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, now with him overshadowing Shelton, I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Give
Damn
Shelton his dues. But, you know, really no complaints at all in this match.
Yeah. None. I mean, it was just so good. It was just so good and so solid that I feel bad I don't have much else to say about it. I thought Kofi and Woods' promo on Raw was great, where they're like, yeah, well, we didn't win. He goes, but that's just it. It's not about winning every time. It's about, you know, how hard you climb after you lose, and you don't be 9-time champions without losing a few and coming back to win some more. Like, I was like, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic. That was like one of those great babyface promos where you're like, when you see people who, like, I feel bad to say it, but like Seth Rollins, where his babyface promos were real weird and cookie cutter and just happy to be here and smiley, and you're like, this doesn't feel authentic. This feels weird. You look at promos like this and you go, that's the kind of babyface promo that'll rile people up and get them behind you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was fantastic. And then I don't have much else to say about it. And then on Raw, Hurt Business went up against the Hardy Bros, and I was pretty pissed about that. But we can wait to talk about that, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm on the fence about it.
I don't mind them as a tag team. We'll just say it. We'll just get into it. Hardy Bros, they're coming out. I don't mind them as a tag team. I think they could be good together. I think they work well together. I don't want them being called the Hardy Bros. I don't want broetry in motion. I don't want this to be a parody of the Hardy Brothers. I want them to have their own identity.
Yes.
Like, I'd rather they be like the enigmatic bros. You know what I mean? Like, let it be Jeff Hardy and Riddle in some way. If you're going to have bro in it,
Yeah.
let it be like the enigmatic bros. Don't bring the Hardys in it, and don't have broetry in motion. Have a different move that Jeff did and combine it with the thing that Riddle does, or come up with your own new stuff. Like, you guys are both so talented and so good. Why can you not do that? Why does it have to be, we'll do all the Hardy Brothers moves and we'll just give it a bro pun? I don't like it. And maybe I'm being overly sensitive, but that's my gripe with it, is I don't want to see this parody of the Hardy Brothers.
Yeah. Well, and, like, I think we don't like it because, you know, we hold the, you know, Matt and Jeff, the Hardy brothers, you know, so high. You know, they're one of the greatest. We love them. And see, I'm just wondering if this is, you know, one of those petty things in wrestling that it's, hey, you're gonna, you know, put, you know what I mean? Like, just a dig at Matt, basically.
Yeah, I wonder too, but I also wonder if people just think it's funny in the back, because, you know, I feel like a lot of things we've been seeing lately has been stuff that just clearly they find it funny in the back, but I don't know that those kind of things translate on TV.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
And don't get me wrong, like I said, I'm on the fence because I like both of them a lot.
Yeah.
Jeff is obviously Jeff, and Riddle's grown on me. I didn't like him in NXT at first, like, oh, bro, I didn't like it. It grew on me. I think it's because we had the same sandal moves on the trampoline.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm still like I said, I like both talents, and I'm on the fence because, like you said, you're making a mockery of the Hardy Brothers, and they shouldn't be out there.
Yeah. And
You
like
know.
I said, I don't have a problem with them as a team. I have a problem with this specific presentation of them.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
really
'cause,
didn't
you know,
like
when
it when
Matt
they did
was with-
broetry in motion. That really bothered me.
Well, I thought it was funny when it was first kind of mentioned in the back, just because it was like Riddle pitching his, you know, bromercials or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, just his ideas out there. And it was fine, but once they actually said, yes, this is the name of the move, and I was like, all right, guys, like you said, that's still taking it further than it needs to be. Because
That's
we
true.
weren't upset when Matt was with Bray, the leader of Worlds, and I think they were kind of playing off of that with Riddle, and hey, we can be the Hardy Bros, or but
Yeah, but
I don't know.
that's just it. With Bray and Matt, it was the leader of worlds, and it was a broken Matt Hardy with Bray Wyatt. It wasn't.
Mhm.
It wasn't the Hardy Brays. You know what I mean? They weren't doing. They weren't doing poetry and motion together. They were doing other things that they do. Just be new.
Yeah.
Just be you guys.
Yeah.
Don't be like, hey, remember what we did with Matt? Like, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. No, 100%. But that's why, to me, it feels just like one of those petty wrestling digs.
Yeah, it feels that way. Maybe that's why I don't like it. Speaking of things I don't like, Kev, let's hit up the next one. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Asuka and Charlotte Flair. You called it. You called it like a week or two ago when I said, oh, they announced it's going to be Mystery Party. Who's it going to be? You said, well, obviously it's Charlotte, right? And you just ruined the whole show. Now, here's the deal. I'm going to be honest with you. As soon as Charlotte's Flair music hit, I left. I didn't watch any of this. I didn't watch a single second of it. I waited till I heard Kevin Owens or Roman Reigns' voice to look back up at the TV. So I know that Charlotte won because that's what happens. But I didn't watch any of this match whatsoever. I thought, here's the other thing. I thought that time away from Charlotte, because we've been saying it a long time, she just needs to go away for a bit so we can miss her. I found out when she came back I didn't miss her one bit at all.
It's too soon.
Maybe it's too soon, but it's 6 months. Like, how long does someone need to be out? You know what I mean? I mean, for her,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, she leaves for 6 months at a time all the time. So maybe that's why it's like too soon. Maybe we haven't had a break that felt longer than this ever. But she came back, and I just went, nope. No, I know where this is going. I know what this is going to be, and I'm just not interested. I'm not here for it. I get it. A lot of people like her. Everyone's been talking about her. Oh, she's great. And here's the thing that really got me. The thing that made it. What have we been saying ever since Bayley became a Grand Slam champion?
When is Charlotte gonna?
How are they going to weasel a tag title onto Charlotte? Because remember, she was vocal on Twitter when they announced that Bayley was the first ever Grand Slam champion. And she goes, how was she the first ever just because there wasn't a tag title before now? And then it was this whole thing where it's all like, why are you being petty about it? You know what I mean? And she was getting all upset. So she's been vocal saying that she should have been the first ever Grand Slam champion. And just because there was a new belt doesn't mean you're no longer that. Because she's like, I held all of them, including the Divas. She even brought up the Divas title. Like, oh, well, Bayley didn't have the Divas title. Well, fuck. Like, relax. It was just this whole thing, dude. And I was just really, so we said it when Bayley became Grand Slam champion. It's like, oh, well, how are they going to get Charlotte the tag title now? Because there's no way Charlotte's not going to be a Grand Slam champion. There's just no way that they're going to let that slide.
Yeah.
And then as soon as she comes out, I just went, oh, this is it. This is how she becomes a Grand Slam champion. This is what they've been waiting for this whole time.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. What did you think of all this? Did you love it?
I did because I was right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, when I first heard her music hit, like, it was one of those where it was like, I was expecting it, and then when it happened, I just started laughing. I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm glad she's back because I do like Charlotte. The only thing I don't like about Charlotte is how much they push her.
Mm-hmm.
This is the way we felt about Roman. This is now how we feel about McIntyre.
Yeah.
They look, Charlotte. They need to stop it. With this, it was kind of, like I said, Charlotte's great. She's got great moves. She's athletic. I just don't want them to be like, okay, once again, Charlotte. And
yeah.
I was hoping for a little bit of a change. Like, gear, maybe not an entrance because that's, hers, but just a little bit of a different look to her. When she came out in the same exact gear, I was like, all right, cool, it's whatever. I just don't want for her to fall in line where she left off. Like,
I think that's all it is. I think that she's kind of she's just that one thing. She just does the one thing. That's just it too. Is that everyone talks about how she's the most athletic woman in the history of wrestling and the greatest of all time, and I just flat out don't see it. Watch any match with Charlotte and watch even just Sasha Bailey in NXT, and you're not seeing superior athleticism in that regard. You know what I mean? You don't watch like Sasha Bailey Brooklyn and think, oh, if only they were as good as Charlotte. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. I agree with that. When I say she's athletic, yes, she's athletic. I'm not saying she's the greatest, women's athlete out there ever.
Yeah, but people say that.
I know people say that, but people are stupid.
No.
But when I say it's athletic, there's a lot of women in WWE that just aren't athletic and fluid, and I think Charlotte is. And when you have these other women, I don't want to throw out any names out there, but when you have these other women that just don't have as great athleticism as others, it's very apparent.
Yeah.
And I think Charlotte does need to be out there. I do think she needs to be, a player, but I don't think she needs to be the player every time.
Here's the thing that got me too. So she was on Raw Talk, and she said that I sent you the clips because I want to know what you thought of it. But she said that when Asuka and Charlotte went to WrestleMania and it was the streak versus the title, that she needed that win, that cemented Charlotte's legacy, that Asuka had nothing to prove. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That was when Asuka was fresh in the main roster and everyone was saying she needed to prove that streak wasn't a fluke in developmental. She needed to show that she could beat the best in the world, especially when her whole thing was no one's ready for Asuka and she's steamrolling through everybody for fucking 500 something days. And then she gets to the main roster and the first real contender just crushes it. It's like, oh, I mean, it took Asuka like 2 years to get back on track.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or at least a year and a half. Look at and so for her to be like, that cemented my legacy. Are you saying that you didn't have a cemented legacy before as like a 9-time champion, first ever women's champion to dissolve the Divas? You know what I mean? Like,
I thought that statement was crap as well. Like I think she was trying to say, hey, yes, Asuka's the only person, on my level, so if I'm going to tag with anyone, it's going to be her. But yeah, I don't understand how they, why she said, hey, this made me who I am, basically.
Yeah, that was weird.
And it was
especially because they haven't talked about the streak much even after that. There's like, stop talking about it. You know what I mean? Like, it made the streak seem lesser.
No, they never really talked about the streak, even on the main roster when Asuka was there.
Yeah.
They would mention it a little bit, just, oh, she's, I think they would count the days, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. It was just nuts. I didn't understand the whole thing. I also didn't like that she said that if she was going to tag with anybody, then it has to be Asuka because it has to be someone she respects. Is she not a heel right now? Because that really insinuates that she does not respect the rest of the roster.
Well, that, and she did tag with Becky.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it's like, do you not respect Becky? Like,
exactly.
Like, they forced me to do this. I agree with that. As soon as they won, and maybe even before then, I thought, okay, when's Charlotte going to turn on Becky? I mean, Asuka.
Yeah.
I thought, maybe even during this match, okay, she's going to turn on her. Hey, I'm back. I'm focusing on that. They won it. It was like, okay, whatever. going back and when Nia and Shayna won it, I was like, okay, these are two big forces as champions. I thought, well, who are they going to have take it off of her?
Yeah.
And it was like, it's got to be somebody or a team that's good or gets lucky.
Yeah.
But as soon as now Asuka and Charlotte's the champion, it's like, well, fuck, now you need somebody or a team that much better. And who's that going to be?
And they're not gonna. What's gonna end up having to happen, because they have to do everything to protect Charlotte, I'll call it now. Charlotte's gonna like walk out of the match.
Charlotte's turning. Yeah.
Yeah, she has to make the loss happen.
Yeah. Asuka loses it, gets pinned by somebody, and now you have tension between Asuka and Charlotte for, the title, the Raw Women's title.
Which is also weird because Asuka's never given a shit when she's lost a title. So it's weird. You know what I mean? Like, she just gets titles, and then when she loses them, she goes, oh, well, yeah, I'm doing something else then. Like, her character's never shown, like, great regret or like this.
I want that back. I need it back.
Yeah, there's never been a great desire to get it other than, I got another shot. I've earned it, and I'll take it. And you're like, what? Like, so I do think that's going to play out a little bit funny just because of that. But, dude, and then I feel like that Charlotte says so many things that, like, don't make any sense to me. When she said that on Raw, she comes out and she says it's her first time ever in the Thunderdome, and she walked in with the championship. She goes, this is my first night ever in the Thunderdome. Where do you think you were at TLC?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you won it in the You're in the Thunderdome for TLC.
That was the TLC dome. Not the
it was the TLC dome.
Yeah. I know. When she said that too, I was like, huh?
And that's just it. It's more of that,
one of those,
twisting the narrative things to make her seem even better.
Yeah.
But
like,
you can't just...
It was just one of those, like, Freudian slips where she meant to say, hey, first time in the Thunderdome, and I walked out the champion.
No, because she said it...
just, like, went with it.
Yeah. She doubled down on it. She said it on commentary. She said it, like, twice. She said it on Raw Talk. She made sure she said it. On my first time ever in a Thunderdome, I walked in with a title. No, you didn't. We watched it, but it's one more thing where they try to make her even more impressive than her being impressive already is. And that's the stuff that gets me. Is it bothers me. It's like, she's already impressive. She's already fantastic. And then you have to do all these little things that are just flat out not true or weird to make her seem that much better. And it's like, for what? Why?
Yeah.
They do that for no one else. Dude, and then, I don't know, you tell me, on Raw, and I'm not trying to shit on Charlotte here at all, she sounded stoned on commentary. It was so weird. She was laughing at weird things. She was making bad jokes and laughing to herself. She was talking to Asuka different than she talked to the commentators. She talked slower and louder and down to her, and it was so weird.
Yeah.
When I was watching it, she said something to Asuka, and I was like, she's talking to her like she's a pet. Right? Right? What do you think, Asuka?
Yeah.
Good, right? Yeah. And you're like, what? Who talks to a person that way? And that's what I mean. If she's a super heel right now, I am in. I bought it.
Yeah.
Because I have no desire to cheer her whatsoever right now. So if she's coming in as a heel, yes, you're doing it. You're knocking it out of the park. You're talking like an asshole to people. You're making no sense. You're making bad jokes. You came in and just took the title, and now you're making up facts. Yes, you're a heel. Boo the woo, I say.
It was awkward and weird. And it's one of those things where, her character is so much, modeled so much after her dad's.
Yeah.
That it's like, hey, yeah, she's got to be cocky and condescending and stuff like that. But the thing is her dad was the best heel of all time.
Yeah.
The dirtiest player of the game, So I've always found it kind of weird that she's ever been a face.
Yeah.
But as a face, I guess, they wanted, it was obvious that they've been pushing her. So you have to push the face. But
And it feels like she's trying to be a face here, but maybe she's just such a natural heel that it's, to me, she's already turned in my mind. I'm like, oh yeah, she's already heel now. Like,
yeah.
she also, even her shirts say "Born to Conquer," her new ones. And you're like, if you're constantly trying to get away from the people who talk shit and say that you're here because of your name, stop putting stuff like that out.
Yeah.
Stop talking about what you're born with and what you're genetic with and all that stuff, and just, talk about other stuff. But at the same time, if you're feeding into it because it's easy heat, well, that's cool too. I'm down for that. I dig it.
Yeah.
Because I agree. I think it is easy heat, and I think I'm being worked all the time. That's why I like this stuff. And I'm telling you right now, Charlotte Flair is a monster heel, because we just talked for like 20 minutes about how I want to boo her. A lot of respect, but I'm booing her already. She's tremendous. Boo. That's what I mean. I think Charlotte and Drew are the best two heels in the business.
I don't know. Roman's up there.
I don't know. I like Roman. He could beat the shit out of me. I mean, I think that's all I had to say about Charlotte, and on both nights.
Yeah.
I didn't even really watch the match she had on Raw. I'm just not interested. I don't know what they think I'm gonna see that I'm gonna go, oh, here's what we've been waiting for. You know what I mean? She is as same old as it gets right now.
Yeah, but it's just, I think it's just her present of being back.
Yeah.
Presence, not present. But yeah, I think that's it. That's what they were going for. She's back. Congratulations.
They've already announced they're going to be on
This is what we
SmackDown
wanted.
defending the women's title, so at least that titles are starting to tour again, because outside of Sasha and Bayley, those titles never went to another brand. Iconics never went to a different brand. Kabuki Warriors never went to a different brand. Shayna and Nia never went to a different brand. So I'm glad that
I thought the Iconics took it to a different brand.
They took it to Raw once. I'm not counting that, because they spent almost their entire time on SmackDown, just on SmackDown, or if they were not even on TV at all.
The thing that's getting me is they need to go to NXT.
Yes.
And
Sasha Bayley are the only two to bring it there. And they brought it there a couple times.
Yeah. They always say, "Oh, it could go on any brand," but they always mention NXT, but it's only been to NXT once.
Twice. Sasha and Bayley took it on their first run, and they took it on their second run.
Okay. Well, twice.
Yeah, still not a lot, but
I want to see an NXT Women's Champion.
Yeah, 100%. I want to see that more than anything.
How big of an upset would that be? Yeah, even if that's when Charlotte turns, like, okay, now they're going to defend it on NXT. That might be the talking point, and that's what they want with these. Is they want talking
Rhea.
points of all brands.
Rhea can cost Charlotte and Asuka the match, because Rhea could come out there, interfere, not even be in the match, but take Charlotte out of the match. Someone else wins it, and Rhea could just be like, yeah, you're not coming down here again. You're not doing this again. You stay out of here. And that actually is how you get Rhea up on the main brand.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with all that.
But
I think I did it.
Well, we don't want, but we're calling Charlotte costing the match.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you take Charlotte costing the match. I'm going to take Rhea's costing the titles to reignite the Charlotte Rhea feud.
Well, yeah.
And then either way, if it doesn't happen, plans change. But right now, leaked information, brand new, hot off the press, just told us inside.
Vince changed it last minute.
It's either going to happen because we were insiders, or it's not going to happen because they changed their mind last minute, and they do that.
And we're still insiders.
Dude, Roman and Kevin Owens. Or is there anything on Charlotte at all that you think we're missing? Because I'm done.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah, okay. Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens, TLC Universal title match. Lot of Uso in here. A lot of Uso. So
A lot.
I know, and then someone even tweeted at Kevin Owens saying, how come you have no friends? And he's like, the consequences of my career thus far. But I know that on SmackDown we're going to get a cage match of Roman and Kevin Owens, and I think that's really cool. I think it's a great way to take this because I'm not done with KO and Roman, but I thought this match was awesome. I thought the fallout on the SmackDown before it, or I shouldn't say the fallout, but the preemptive for it, where even they just pile shit all over Kevin Owens and they beat the shit out of him, and they're in the back and he climbs out of the rubble and sits on a chair and he goes, "I'm not staying down." Like, all of that was so good.
Yeah.
Everything that they're doing. I loved this. What do you have to say?
No, I love it too. Going into it, like I said, I knew, or the outcome I felt was, obviously Roman. So by that, I was a little, less interested in it, but the match was great.
Yeah.
The one thing I do say as well is I think there's too much Uso in it.
Yeah.
Like, the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, Sammy, go out there. Come on. Sammy. But it was like, they're not going to, as of right now, they're not going to pair them back up. But, you're waiting for somebody else to do something.
Yeah.
Or show up. And it was just a 2-on-1, and, it was whatever. But, good match. Liked it.
Yeah.
Love what they're doing with them. And
yeah, and everyone involved
Cage
in
match
these
is gonna
back
be
and forths.
interesting.
Yeah, cage match I'm excited for. I mean, Paul Heyman, Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, and Jey Uso all talking to each other. Yeah, keep it coming. Don't stop that too early. I mean, I actually just don't have anything else to say about that match other than it was great, and I'm glad the story's continuing.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. All right, cool. Orton and The Fiend. Firefly Inferno match. Dude, the setup for this was so crazy with those spiraling flames around poles and stuff. As the match, going into the match, I was like, well, clearly Bray has to win whichever match he has with Orton. But as the match started and I realized it was fire and you have to set someone on fire, I was all like, oh, this is going to be how Bray loses, isn't it? Because it's such a crazy thing to say, but if the Fiend has to take a loss, setting him on fire is the right way. Like, I'm never going to buy him laying down for 3 seconds, but I'll buy you setting on fire. What did you think of this match, dude? This match was crazy. And it ended with Orton literally setting Bray Wyatt laying out and just engulfing him in flames as he melted away. What do you think?
Yeah, I liked it. The only thing that kind of got me was the place of, like, the spiral fire thing that was in the middle of the ring camera side.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a weird spot
That
for
was
it.
the only thing where I was like, if you took that out, like, aesthetically, that would have been great. And, I love the match. It was, it was cool. It was an interesting concept. I thought there'd be more of a Firefly Funhouse feel to it.
Yeah.
Instead of just fire.
Yeah, I mean, they did the rocking chair and little stuff like that, but yeah, there wasn't a ton.
Yeah. None of the puppets made a appearance that I saw.
True.
I mean, how great would it have been if Ramblin' Rabbit was on one of the screens? Like in the Thunderdome.
Oh, yeah, just in the screens.
Yeah, just watching it, and he's like, hey. But, I thought it was good. It's funny because I watched the last two matches the day after.
Yeah.
And my little guy is loving The Fiend.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, he was taking a nap, and I was like, well, I need to watch it before Raw. I was like, I can watch it again. I watched it, and I'm kind of glad I didn't watch it with him.
Yeah.
Because when Orton literally just set him on fire, I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Glad he didn't see this,
Yeah. Yeah, because that's the other thing, too, is that they made him being lit on fire initially. It didn't... it made him lose the match, but he looked stronger as hell because he was still fucking chasing Randy while he was covered in flames. And he puts the mandible claw while he's engulfed in flames. And you're just like, Jesus, this guy's a monster. And that at the end of the day is the story. He is a literal monster.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just still once again thinking about it, taken back by Randy just dousing them, and it was cool because I watched it a couple times because you see Bray, and it's like, all right, they're putting a liquid on him, gas or water probably. Yeah, I don't think they used real gas, but anyways, you see him, just getting soaked, and then you see Orton with the match, and I was like, okay, something's gonna happen. Yeah. I thought at that time, or not a match with the lighter, but anyways, I thought Fiend Alexa was gonna come out. Yeah. And I was kind of waiting for something to happen, and then he tosses it and he just like engulfs, and I was like, holy shit! And then yeah. I got taken back, and I was like, well, it can't be Bray, And then seeing it again, I was like, okay, cool, I saw what happened, but I didn't catch it at first, and it was great. I love being caught off guard and surprises and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, they did a great job with it, and I kept waiting too. Every second, I was like, okay, he's gonna sit up. Okay, the lights are gonna go out. Okay, something's gonna happen. Okay, what's gonna happen? And then when he just engulfs him in flames, I was like, is he gonna snap up while he's in flames? And like nothing happened. I was like, is he just gonna lie there and burn to death? Like every second, I was more and more sure of the next thing that was gonna happen, and less sure of what was actually going to happen.
Yeah.
It was just insane. It was so good because at the end of it, I was like, what the fuck? Now me, I don't watch a lot of horror movies. My first question was, how does the Fiend come back? Like, what do you do with the Fiend? How does he possibly come back from that? And a bunch of people just kept telling me, well, he's a horror movie villain. Okay, well, that doesn't mean anything to me. Like, well, it's like in a horror movie. Okay, but I don't watch those. Like, just think horror movie. Okay, but that still doesn't mean anything. So, if you want a really great breakdown... Well, yeah. I mean, and Alexa talks about it on Raw, but real quick, just a quick shout out. The Not Sam Wrestling podcast, he does a great breakdown of how he foresees the concept of how a Fiend could return one way or another. And he is a huge horror movie buff, so he is more qualified than I to give those assumptions. But listening to it, I felt, okay, there's a lot of how-tos on that one. But Alexa comes out, Monday Night Raw, Alexa's playground on a swing set and shit. And she starts talking about the Fiend, how when he comes back, it's going to be like nothing you've ever seen before. Whew. Oh, that was incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing that I didn't like about that segment is I wish it would have kicked off the show, because then people would have been like, oh, is he coming out? Are they going to do a Firefly Funhouse and stuff like that? And I wish they would have kept like a black charred mat at the beginning of the show and just show the burn marks on it, and then Randy going out there and doing his promo and be like, oh, it was right here, I can still smell it, and you'd be like, yeah, because his charred remains are still on the mat.
Well, it would have been crazy because they had all the lights go out, and they obviously had to cut and do stuff with the Alexa Funhouse shit. What if the mat was burned then?
Alexa playground?
Yeah. But what if the mat was burned then? Like, if he's doing it? Oh, it's right here, I can smell it, and it's not burnt. But then when it kicks back on in your Alexa's playground, the mat is burnt.
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
Especially since Alexa said, he might have. It's like he got absorbed by the mat.
Yeah.
And then the outlines there, like that would have been like, oh shit.
Yeah. Go God.
Yeah.
Dude, and Alexa's so good. I keep saying it. Enjoy her while you can, because Hollywood's sniffing, and once they get a good grip on her, enjoy her while she's one of ours, because there's going to be a time where she's not one of ours anymore, for sure.
Yeah.
And this was just one more time where she proved that, I think. But, dude, I'm so excited about the idea of what happens with the Fiend next, or what version of the Fiend we get, or if they even call him the Fiend. Producer was saying, but there's all this fucking merch out there. They got a ton of merch with the Fiend. How are you gonna change him up now? New merch.
Yeah, you sell a lot more merch.
Yeah, because everyone already bought that merch, so new merch. But it also got me thinking, if this is the route that they're going, and Bray is so good, and he's every time we thought that they fucked something up and this is bad and it's gonna miss the beat, he's got it right back on track every time and made it better than it was before. He's got a vision for this character that is beyond what any of us are seeing or thinking. And what if they came out with what they did for The Fiend for the time, but the whole time, and this wouldn't surprise me at all, he's been working for the next thing already. So for the past year, what if he's been working on a more gruesome style mask or something? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like whatever it is we see next is going to be insane. That's all I know.
Do you think that the dreads are going to be all charred and short? And...
I don't know. I thought we might even get a Firefly Funhouse with Sweater Bray. All sad and stuff that his buddy's gone and shit. But I think it's better that they played it the way they did. They had 2 weeks without Alexa, and now they got Alexa being the spokesman for the Firefly. And that's just it, too. Is remember we kept saying, like, that it's too soon to invite someone in the Playhouse and all that shit? I think that was all the plan. Get her in there, get her used to it, get everyone on board with her being there, and then she's going to be the one to carry it during the transformation. So that way it's not nothing. Yeah. It continues building. it's so... Dude, it's artistic what's going on with Bray and Alexa.
Dude, it would be so great if, since the Playhouse is, or, the Funhouse is like, a play thing and, Alexa on her playground and stuff like that. How great would it be if Alexa is like playing like, like Little Doctor and there's this, just wrapped up mannequin that she's like, oh, I'm trying to fix him. I'm going to add this. I'm going to add that and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then the reveal comes and, oh, shit, he's something completely different now.
I know. When I first said, like, what the fuck happens now? How do you bring him back? And someone's like, oh, just think of it like Jason. What if it's like Jason? Are you trying to tell me that was Bray's mom? Because in the first one, I do know that Jason is actually Jason's mom.
Yeah.
So, but if it's not his mom, I do wonder. Yeah, are we gonna get some sort of like Frankenstein fiend, Frankenfiend or some shit? Fiendenstein.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think whatever we get is gonna be fucking crazy and awesome, and I'm ready to buy all the new merch. Maybe that's why we haven't seen that Universal title in a while. Maybe because they're going to have a just more disgusting one. Like the fanny pack. That was disgusting. What if they do something like that?
Yeah.
And I don't know that we missed anything. And to be honest, the only other thing that happened on Raw that we really didn't even touch about, Jackson Riker did a thing, and I think that's fine what they're doing. T-Bar beat Ricochet. Angel defeated Gulak. We talked about Hurt Business. We talked about Shayna Charlotte. And then there was the street fight that had everyone following all the rules. It was a terrible street fight.
Yeah. It was so confusing.
Yeah.
You didn't specify what streets.
That's a good point. Didn't say what street. Could be Sesame Street. Everyone play along.
The Miracle on 34th Street.
Well, that's what they used to say when they used to do the Christmas shows in New York, but it wasn't in New York, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I didn't care for any of that either. Drew McIntyre keeping Keith Lee and Sheamus apart and then together and being like, "See, teamwork is good." They cut to commercial, and then they literally ended the show with Drew McIntyre looking at Sheamus and saying, "What? Come on, man! I told him you were cool. I told him you were cool." That's your badass closing line? Remember when it used to end with Stone Cold screaming, "Don't trust anybody," and then it would cut. This guy's, yeah. What?
Cliffhangers.
Yeah, cliffhangers. This was, I told him you were cool. Fucking get out of here, Poindexter.
It reminded me of. It reminded me when we met in 4th grade or 5th grade.
Yeah.
And Hef. But he said he was cool.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you told me he was a cool guy.
No. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. But I don't know. You know,
Go ahead, Kev.
oh, you know the thing that gets me is that Sheamus and McIntyre, you can tell they're good friends,
Yeah.
and I love it. They have, this chemistry on air, and obviously in the back. Like even when they were both eating cookies.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like anything kayfabe and stuff like that. It was like, cool, once again, do that. Just, they need to be a tag team. They're doing, unison moves. Take the fucking title off of Drew.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
And if they were a tag team, I'd be behind them. Like, I love
100%.
Sheamus. Sheamus has always been one of my guys. If Drew was the heel with Sheamus, cool. It's great. Do it.
Yeah. You know what they
But
should call them? The best friends.
Right. That one's already taken.
It's not. Not by a big promotion.
What about the better friends?
Bestest friends. Hello. Different. And then Bianca comes out. What the fuck? I'm the East. You can't est.
You can't asbestos.
Yeah. 100%. But producer did bring up a good point. She was trying to say there a second ago that the idea of Sheamus versus Keith Lee in a possible program there sounds more than enticing, and I agree to that 100%. I don't think we need Drew McIntyre to get there, but where the thunder rolls, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thunderdome.
I mean, I don't know. Keith Lee has lost a lot of steam with me. I loved him in NXT, and then he came up and just, to me, it hasn't been the same.
Yeah, something's not quite there, not quite clicking, but I think he's making good progress. I do think that he didn't show up ready to take on the world, but I do think he's making steps and strides as he goes, and I think every time we see him, he's a little bit better than the last time, and so I'm happy to just take the ride with him, to be honest.
Yeah.
Let's see. Was there anything else that we missed? Anything you want to talk about before we do last call?
Excuse me. I was just gonna say, do you think Ricochet ends up joining Retribution?
That's funny actually. That's
I
how
think he should.
He started all his promos that way for a long time. That was Ricochet. I do think
personally, I think he should.
I don't see why he shouldn't. Is probably what I'll say, because I do think it makes a lot of sense. And they did do a Raw talk, and he showed up, and he was nearly in tears, man. I'll have to find it and send it to you. When he was talking about how something's got to change, that things aren't working. He's just tired of going out there every night and looking at the lights at the end of every match. Like he was getting all choked up and stuff. So I think it wouldn't be outside of the realm of believable or functional, and I think that a Ricochet could be good for a team like that. I just don't know that I know exactly where Retribution's going. You know what I mean? So it's hard to say like, oh, that'll turn this around or that'll give it a lot of good momentum. I like what it's doing. It is slow moving. I do think that it's funny that everyone says that WWE doesn't do any long-term storytelling and gets mad about it. And here we are, how many months into Retribution, and people wrote it off months ago and just said that this is awful, but it's having small growth throughout this time frame. They didn't shotgun it. So another time that internet wrestling fans can fucking relax, if you ask me. But I'm not sure the direction they're really going, and I don't know that a Ricochet pivots that.
But see, to me, the whole thing with Retribution is, hey, we were underutilized, this and that, and that's Ricochet 100%. Like when he first came up from NXT, he got this huge push, and then all of a sudden there's nothing.
Yeah.
And to me, I think, especially after that Raw talk, like I want to see it. It sounds like, hey, he's the poster child of Retribution.
Oh yeah.
Like this is what they're talking about, and with it being slow moving, I don't know. It lost some steam with me, and if they're slow moving to bring, you know, like random guys back that we haven't seen, like a Mojo, we haven't seen in forever. It feels like.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's a part of them, you know, and then even some people that they let go, like Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel.
Yeah.
Okay, now they're a part of them, and it's all of a sudden becoming like this big conglomerate of underutilized talent. I think that'd be great, but I think Ricochet needs to be there. I don't know why he's fighting them of all people.
Yeah.
When it was first Retribution versus Hurt Business, it was like, hey, we're big bad dudes. These people are running roughshod, kind of anarchy. It made sense.
Yeah.
Hey, you're going to hire us, whether you're hiring us or not. And then all of a sudden, they just went in two opposite directions, like within a matter of a week.
I do think that
And then,
that if Ricochet joins Retribution, they need to be the ones to take the titles off of Hurt Business.
yeah, him and what's his name?
Mustafa. Yeah, I could see him and Mustafa taking the titles off of him, and then T-Bar and Mace being like enforcers, constantly making sure they never lose it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I could see all that.
And even with what's her name? Like, she needs to do something.
Reckoning needs to do something.
Even
I
if
will
it's
say this about Reckoning.
Reckoning,
She always seems a little bit like she doesn't seem as uniform as the rest. And I wish that everyone's coming out like basically the same thing every week, and she's changing up her outfits every week. And I just kind of, I mean, for no reason other than it seems like kind of a militia type group. I just want her to like pick a look and go with it for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a problem with the way that she dresses or anything like that. But just whichever one you're going to do, just do that one for a few weeks or something. Like, I thought that jumpsuit she had was awesome. It was all leather. It matched everybody else what they were doing. And I thought it just blended well. But that was just like 1 week. And I don't know. She just doesn't seem as uniform as the rest. But I also wonder if that's part of the character. Is the character Reckoning after being yelled at about failing and you can't fail and failure is not an option, is she maybe starting to reconsider things. So it could be also foreshadowing there. She's starting to
trying to find herself within.
Exactly. She's re-identifying herself. This week she was wearing a gray top. She wasn't wearing all black for the first time. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, maybe that's part of it. And if that's true and that's part of it, I'm just getting worked. And I love to get worked.
Yeah. Work
But if
me.
that's not part of it,
Work
wear
me,
all black
baby.
or something.
But yeah, I just, I keep seeing it. They keep, they're getting airtime, which is good. But like I said, to me, the whole basis of Retribution is exactly what Ricochet is going through.
Yes. And that's why I say I don't have a good reason to say no. I don't think that he definitely shouldn't join. Again, he's also a character. I'm not sure the trajectory of him, and maybe this could give him an identity within there. So I don't know. I'm actually really interested in the Retribution storyline because of things like this. Because this is a hard one to grasp. All these other ones we called as it went. You called Charlotte a while ago. You know what I mean? There's a whole lot of things we can say. Oh, you can do this. They're going here, or something's going to happen here. Retribution is the one thing every week where we go, I don't know what's next. It's unpredictable, and I don't think that that's a horrible thing. And maybe because a lot of people talk shit like they know what's going on in the back, and I don't. And sometimes they say, well, you don't know what's going on because they don't know what's going on. Well, maybe that's okay too. Maybe it's okay to go in there blinded and say, we don't have a plan, but we're going to make sure that what we do is in a straight line. And we're going to figure out that as we go and see where this story develops into. That's also fine because you know what? They got a lot of fucking TV to fill. So it's okay to do that sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like, I've said it several times. I like the surprises. I like being, I don't like looking at the spoilers and stuff like that. So, seeing where this develops or what this develops into, I'm okay with. If I don't predict anything that they do for the next few years or however long they want to run, Retribution, great. Like that's what I liked about wrestling. In the Attitude Era, maybe it's because we were just kids, but it seemed like they were shocking us all the time.
Oh yeah.
And they always talked about pops, and we talked about this several times. Like the past couple years, WWE's been ruining their own pops.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this is gonna happen. Well, why say that? Just do it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's ratings or hey, we need viewership, so we're gonna do this. And I remember the last one that I was truly like, oh shit, was one of the Saudi Arabians. I don't know if it was Crown Jewel or what, but when Hogan came out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, they announced this weeks ago. I was like, I didn't see it. This is so great.
Yeah.
I was like, I jumped off the couch when I heard this theme music. I was like, yeah, all right. And I loved it. That's what made me become a fan of wrestling, is the unpredictability and the
not knowing.
Watching a movie with all the twists and turns. And Twitter kind of ruined this shit.
Yeah, and not knowing where it's going. I think that being unpredictable is not always good either. I do think that being predictable isn't always bad. But I also think that I think that not having a direction sometimes, especially in a creative realm like that, will also prevent you from hot-shotting it, which is the one thing that we know is always bad, predictable or otherwise. If you rush to the end too fast, you just go, okay, well, I guess that was that then. So I think that I don't have personally a problem with the way that they're doing Retribution, and even if they do go into it every week with, we're not sure yet, we're going to sort out something by the end of the week for you, and then we'll see what happens. Great. At least they're not going to hotshot something and be like, all right, well, let's just get him to the end already. No, let it flesh out. Let it be a thing. So I don't have a problem with it because I don't know where it's going, and I like that.
Yeah. I just, it just, to me, they came in with so much steam and then just slowed down like crazy.
Yeah, that's true too.
It's like, who's doing this? Who's doing this? And it was like, and I think that's where a lot of people are losing interest. And, I've lost some interest, but at the same time, I'm still watching it and being like, all right, cool. Where are you going with it?
Yeah.
It's not over.
Yeah, 100%. Producer real quick wanted to say that she's not excited about the women's division right now. What's the problem with the women's division in Raw? I mean, it's got Charlotte, but I mean, Charlotte's going to be tied up with Asuka for a bit. That still leaves you with Peyton and Lacey, who are going to likely break up and go on their little thing for a bit, and that could be all right. You still have Shayna and Nia, who clearly have to break up at some point, and then you got Shayna on a fucking tear. Mandy and Dana are together, and they could be quite a force for Charlotte and Asuka. Like, I mean, you have women who are doing stuff. It's just they're not all in the title pick. Well, no one's in the title picture right now, so Asuka's going to have to do something with that. But I think it's a pretty strong women's division, overall.
I'm just afraid Charlotte's gonna overshadow everyone.
Yeah, I don't know what Charlotte being there is going to do for anybody. I mean, I don't know that anyone's ever. I don't feel like anyone's been a bigger star after being in a match with Charlotte. I just don't know. Maybe Sasha, but I feel like Sasha still had match of the year before Charlotte. So,
do you think this is gonna, the tension's gonna build if they put Charlotte as the Royal Rumble winner?
She already won it one time.
But then she could be the first two-time women's Royal Rumble winner.
I want Bayley to win it.
If she wins it, then everything that I kind of got excited about her return is gone.
Yeah. Yeah. She was also the one who won it, and everyone just went, well, what a waste. And then she goes, I'm going to go for the NXT title. Yeah. And then everyone else went, well, what a fucking waste again. Like,
yeah, no.
Her win for the Rumble was largely the biggest wet fart of them all.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest. I mean, you don't see any of the men going for the NXT title. You're not going to see Randy Orton win the Royal Rumble and then have Orton go, I want Karrion Kross in NXT. You're not going to see that shit. And at the time when she went for Rhea, who was the title? Adam Cole at the time. You think, fuck, my God, dude. Who won the men's that year? Drew. You think Drew McIntyre's going to... Yeah, Drew's going to win the thing and go, yeah, I want Adam Cole fuck.
Yes, do it. Book it.
It's not happening. It's a lesser than thing, and however much you want to pretend that it's not, the fact is it's not. Kev, there is going to be on Monday a Legends of Wrestling Raw. I'm always excited for when they do stuff like this.
Thing I wanted to bring up. Yeah.
What?
This is the last thing I wanted to bring up. Was I saw the promo for this, or the video package. Was Sting in there?
I didn't see him, but I'll go back and watch it. I hope so.
Because I wanted to watch it before the show, and then I didn't. But I swear, like, when they started doing it, I kind of was paying attention, and I did something, and I looked up, and I thought I saw an image of Sting.
That'd be so funny, dude. Be so funny.
Like,
I think. What do you think?
Done before all this, and it was oversighted
Yeah.
And they left it like, oh man, somebody would lose their job.
I think so, but I also think that's not the case because they removed Sting's merch from the WWE shop months ago. That's why I've been calling Sting's arrival in AEW for so long, which no one saw coming. Here's the other thing, dude. Just as a really quick fuck you to the internet one more time, because fuck the internet, dude. Meltzer and Brian Alvarez before TLC tweeted out Charlotte Flair. It's going to be Charlotte Flair. She's the one returning tonight. Get the fuck out of here.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. First off. Secondly, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Like this, like there's no doubt in my mind, or I think anyone else's who can think for 3 seconds, that they didn't know about Sting or Brian Cage or Eddie Kingston or Brody Lee or Mox or any of. They've known all of these, and they try to protect them. And here's the thing that pisses me off about it is that they're actively hoping and trying to damage WWE in everything they say and report. And what good does that do you? Honest to God, let's say you take down the WWE and it's gone. Do you think that's great for wrestling? Do you think that leaves open a huge void that AEW is just ready to slide into? I don't.
Yeah, they're going to take the torch and run with it.
Yeah.
Not so much. But
Right,
see, this is what gets me with some wrestling fans, too, is that they're so just anti-WWE on everything. And to me, it's like, yes, I can understand where you don't like this and that, fine. But all these people, there's so many people that say, hey, I've never been a fan of WWE. Well, then how the fuck did you get into being a fan of wrestling?
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to know. I want to see your path to becoming a fan of wrestling. Because if it wasn't for WWE, to me, there would be no professional wrestling.
Yeah.
You know, after they, maybe back in the day with WCW and the WWE, but once WWE took over WCW, you stop.
Yeah, but why did
and then pick
WWE
up,
take over WCW? Because ECW and WCW stopped making money, and because Turner's network didn't want wrestling on their channel anymore. If WWE had gone under and WCW won, WCW still would have gone under.
Yeah, they would have just stopped. They were like, all right, no, we're done.
Yeah, the network didn't want
We're ending
wrestling.
this.
End of story. And they didn't want to sell it away either. They were done with it. So if WWE lost the Monday Night Wars, that'd have been it. Because wrestling would have been off of the network. It would have been gone. So I don't understand that either, yeah. I mean, I do understand older wrestling fans, people who grew up watching Memphis and AWA and stuff like that. And
WCW, there's a big chunk that I liked WCW more than WWE because I think I was actually introduced to WCW before WWE.
Yeah, it was Sting.
But yeah, I mean, I've always loved Sting, and I could see it, but at the same time, it's like, hey, you gotta give credit where credit's due. They did, we're still here because of WWE.
Yeah.
All the independents, TNA, all these other companies that came and kind of went, if it wasn't for WWE, they would have just all gone. Hey, there's no money in this anymore. No one would try it.
Yeah. And no network TNT's not giving AEW a shot without WWE being around for so long.
Yeah.
Just flat out. If there was
TNT's
no
the one
wrestling
that
on
said, hey,
TV
we
for
don't want
20
this
years.
anymore.
Say what?
I said TNT was the one that said, "Hey, we don't want wrestling anymore.
Yeah.
Get rid of it."
Yeah. You think Tony Khan's going over to TNT and says, "Hey, I've seen some wrestling in Japan that still seems to be floating about. I want to put it on your network." And they go, "Yeah, that sounds good." No.
Do you think Tony Khan going to his dad and saying that?
Yeah.
You know, Dad, remember wrestling?
Now,
Can I
I'll
have
definitely I would definitely say that WWE's dwindling popularity has left enough room for a groundswell of smaller wrestling promotions to be successful and for wrestlers not in WWE to make a living. I think that that's all true. But this weird, actively, how do we damage WWE and take it down and ruin their product and get people to hate it? Like, that's like an actual seeming mentality of Meltzer and Alvarez. And I think I hate to use the term toxic because it's thrown around so much, but it's fucking cancerous at best. Like, what is your problem?
Oh yeah.
Like, Meltzer doesn't exist without WWE. No one gives a shit what Meltzer has to say if he wasn't reviewing WWE for decades. So fucking relax.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing that gets me is, it's not like Meltzer came up in the AEW ranks. Came up at the same time with AEW. He's been around for years. And for him to sit there and say, "Hey, I hate this." Dude, if it weren't for WWE, that's the way you've been making your living.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't get people.
I don't get it. I think it's stupid, and I think first off, the fact that they weren't talking about Sting going to AEW for months is stupid, because there's no way they didn't know. We guessed it.
Yeah.
We guessed it months before because of just generically watching the internet. You can watch the WWE shop and say, "Oh, they must not have a contract with that guy anymore. Oh, that Legends contract must have expired." You know what I mean? You can just see it happen. So for them, and then we called it with Darby.
I was going to say, you see Darby sitting in the crowd and stuff like that. It's like, hey, this is exactly the same thing Sting did. Oh, wait, you do a slight bit of investigative journalism and go to WWEshop.com and say, wait, all the Sting stuff is pulled.
Yeah.
1 + 1, it's not hard to come to that conclusion.
Yeah, 100%. And so for them to not just tweet out Sting, Winter's going to be Sting, you're clearly biased and it's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And I didn't even care. It wasn't like I wasn't going to watch Charlotte one way or the other. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't stop me from watching TLC. It didn't make me not enjoy the show. What did you gain? What did you win?
Yeah.
Best case, actually, you had a bunch of Charlotte Flair fans you haven't been watching in a while go, "Oh, really? She's going to be on tonight? Maybe I should tune in." Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
But you don't do it for that. You do it trying to get people to talk shit before something even happens or starts. Otherwise, you would have tweeted out fucking Sting for weeks ago for Dynamite. You would have done it. You would have just been like, "Sting."
Yeah.
If you had any fucking moral compass or actual justification in your thought here, other than I want to damage one company and support the other company, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Not reading it. Anyways, I'm really excited about this Legend show on Raw. I hope Undertaker comes out and does his walk for 40 minutes of it, and they have those coils back out, and he does the whole thing again. Then he just walks away. I don't want him to say anything. Just I want him to do the whole entrance and the whole exit.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Well, Kev, anything else?
Let's do it. I don't think so.
What's wrong? Okay. Yeah, I think that I'm good then.
Excuse me.
I think I'm good. Guys,
No show Thursday.
we're not going to be doing a show on Thursday. There's a much bigger chance I'll be sitting around a fire having more tequila.
What kind of tequila?
Terramana, I'm glad you asked. Sponsored, not sponsored. Terramana. I don't think we're... Well, I'll probably bring the Blanco, but we're actually going to try the Resperado, I believe.
The rocks.
The one from The Rock and his family. Been big fans of it. Been sipping on it all night. Really good. It's actually good to have straight. Just straight up on the rocks. This has been absolutely enjoyable. Not something I can say about, I
found
think,
that
any
out.
other tequila.
Yeah, we found that out kind of I don't want to say the hard way, but
Yeah.
it was one of those like, hey, I don't have any limes. Well, neither do I. I'm on my way. Okay.
Yeah.
Rocks?
I have.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. We're both looking at each other with a bottle of tequila and a thing of ice, and we're all like, really? Is this what we're doing? We're just going to have tequila and ice? And we're both like, yep, that's what we're doing. And we're like, well, I guess we're sipping on a glass all night. Well, no, we got through a couple.
Yeah.
It was delightful. Dare I say refreshing. Terramana tequila. Sponsor us. Balls in your court. We could obviously never talk good of it again. Or you can send us free booze. It's up to you.
Eggnog ice cream.
Yeah, Salt and Straw did a partnership with them and put eggnog spiked with Terramana in an ice cream, and it was fucking fantastic. So now I'm thinking I need eggnog with tequila. So either way, man, Merry
sounds kinda
Holidays.
terrible.
What?
But so it sounds kind of terrible.
It does. It
Ice
sounds
cream,
awful.
Tequila and eggnog, but if it comes out great, then
Yeah,
Hey.
but it came out fantastic. So, guys, we will not be doing a show on Thursday. Instead, we're going to be spending time with our families. We hope you do too. Have a drink for us, and we'll have a drink for you guys. Kev, I think we're ready for last call unless there's something I'm missing.
nope.
Nope, I think
I think
that's
that's
it. Guys, check out our website. WrestlingOnTheRocks.com has all of our links for all of our shirts, all of our social medias for all of the likes and the follows and the things. Guys, have a Merry Holidays. Whatever you guys do this week, spend time with your family. Be with the ones you love.
Be safe.
Be safe. And we'll be here next Tuesday. Guys, that's last call. Cheers.
Cheers. Happy holidays.
Hey, producer lady here. Thanks for tuning in. Continue to support us or buy us a drink by following and putting the I in subscribe on Twitch. Or subscribe and review our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to us. Cheers!
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.